Good evening. I'm Carl Aldinger.
And I'm Alexis Marks. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Wacs News.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, this episode will feature a special segment where teachers and students tell why they're thankful for each other.
We'll also talk to some teachers about inviting college students back into their classroom to speak to students while they're on their mini break.
Winter is also coming up, and people need to be safe while driving and walking as the conditions worsen.
We'll also look at some winter statistics from here in Alden, but let's hand it off to Bethany for some winter safety tips.
Are you ready for winter? Is your home and vehicle ready for winter? Do you know what precautions to take? Winterize your vehicle before the snow comes. Here's what you can do this winter. When the temperature drops, so does battery power. Check your battery for sufficient voltage. Put snow tires on your vehicle. Check your cooling system and make sure you have enough coolant and that it is designed to withstand the winter temperatures. Check your windshield wipers and defrosters. Make sure they work and they're not worn. Before driving to work or school, clean the snow and ice off of your car. Start your car to defrost the windows and heat it up 10 minutes before you leave. Winterize your home. Check your heating systems. Inspect and clean fireplaces and chimneys. Test smoke detectors and put in new batteries. Have a safe alternate heating source. Take outside precautions. This winter, dress warm to avoid hypothermia and frostbite. Wear a coat, hat, gloves, scarf, and warm waterproof boots. Also wear layers to stay warm. Walking to school or work. Use sidewalks and crosswalks. Be aware of ice and sliding cars.
We have a few new teachers in the building this year, and we'd like to welcome them on behalf of Alden High School. Let's have Paige tell us more.
When I was young, I was always involved in coaching. When I was playing, I was coaching like my friends' little brothers, and my mom was a teacher, and I went into college actually to be a math teacher. I have a math degree. I taught math before I became a phys ed teacher. I actually got a degree in math and phys ed, and just something I enjoy doing. I enjoy working with people, and I've been doing it my whole life. Interacting with the kids, being able to talk to kids, even though they're younger, but they're still young adults. They're old enough to can carry a conversation, and I like relaying experiences I've had over my 20 some odd years of teaching. It's been great. Kids have been great. It's I love where I came from. I some great people there, great kids there, but this has just been a nice transition to just a different kid, not different great, different bad, just good kids, and I've enjoyed the classes. I've enjoyed interacting with the athletes, and it's been a good experience so far.
Soon, college students get to come home on mini break for Thanksgiving.
Some of these past students will be invited back to certain classes in the high school to talk to current students. Let's take a look. With college in mind, Alden's own Alex Hamilton held a mock audition on Tuesday in the auditorium. He performed various classical selections on his flute in front of various teachers and staff to prepare him for his actual audition. I'm Carl Aldinger, here in the high school auditorium, where last week, Alex Hamilton, a high school senior, performed a mock music audition in preparation for his actual audition at Northwestern University. Mr. Larrabee, Mrs. Neiman, and Mrs. Granata, all Alden music teachers, attended the mock audition, and were presented with copies of Alex's selections so they could give him mock scores and feedback. Mr. Larrabee conducted the half-hour audition in a very professional manner. Mrs. Zacher and Mrs. Catterley of the high school also attended. Alex performed several selections, including more classical ones from Bach, Mozart, and Mendelssohn, to more modern ones such as Ravel and Lieberman. Alex was grateful for the opportunity to have the mock audition, even though he feels it wasn't his best performance. Although the teachers tried to simulate the distractions that will come with the real audition, they kept it lighthearted, addressing each other as Dr. Granata and Professor Larrabee. Northwestern is Alex's top choice school. He even applied early decision. He plans to double major in flute performance and mathematics. Alex stated, "My mind works in a very mathematical way, and I approach my flute technique as such. I examine the physics of timbre and acoustics to formulate my technique." Alex is still unsure as to what he would like to do after college, but he's looking forward to landing a professional position in an orchestra or a job in acoustic engineering. Alex has been playing the flute since he was 9 years old, and the piano since he was 10. He's always been interested in Baroque music, beginning to play organ and harpsichord at 12 years old. He has also composed some Baroque music of his own. In regard to his musical skills, Alex says, Once I began, it became an addiction, and I couldn't stop. He's been playing flute in the school band since the 4th grade.
It's really amazing. He came in good shape to begin with, and through his study with teachers in the Philharmonic, his work with the Greater Buffalo Youth Orchestra, and just his own drive, he's really got some amazing results.
Alex states that any student considering an education in music must use extreme caution, since a music degree requires 100% of time, commitment, and devotion. Alex stated that experience as a professional orchestra member or a freelance contractor is practically a necessity for any music degree. Best of luck to Alex. We all hope his audition was successful enough for him to get accepted.
For more information about the musical talent at our school, let's hand it off to Ryan to tell about the upcoming area All-State Soloists.
All-County is the festivals that involve chorus, orchestra, and band members from across Erie County. There are several different levels and different events that happen. In January, we have our audition festivals where we have everybody from elementary through what we call junior high, which is 7th grade through 9th grade, and then senior high, which is 10th grade through 12th grade. In the 3 different weekends in January, each particular age group attends a audition festival where they perform either a prepared solo or prepared parts from the music they'll be singing. The first one is the Elementary Festival, and that's held in Depew every year. The second one, usually around the Martin Luther King Day weekend, is in Orchard Park, and that's the junior high, 7 through 9. And the senior high is 10 through 12, the weekend after. All the audition festivals take place at the school. Like I mentioned, the first one's in Depew. The second one is at Orchard Park, and the third one is at the Buffalo Academy of Visual and Performing Arts. The second part of the festival season happens after all those auditions. We get together, tabulate scores, and then we choose the students who will be participating in the actual performance ensembles, the honors bands, honors orchestras, and honors choruses. And those happen in 3 different weekends in March. Our elementary festival happens every year at Kleinhans Music Hall, where the BPO performs. And then we have 2 junior high festivals. There's a South Festival, which doesn't involve Alden, and the North Festival, the Erie County North Festival, happens at Tonawanda Junior Senior High School in that second weekend in March. And then the third weekend in March is the Senior High Festival, and that happens in the UB North Campus. We've had some pretty good students over the years that have qualified. 2 that come to mind right now, one of which will be representing us at Area All-State this weekend coming up. Jenna Rotowski, she's a clarinet player and a heck of a guitar player too. She's looking to pursue sound recording technology at Fredonia next year. And also Alex Hamilton, who's a flautist, a composer, a pianist, and organist. He just recently auditioned for a performance degree at Northwestern University, and we're expecting to hear back about that soon. Those are 2 very high-performing students from Alden. And we have some others too, and people that are coming up as freshmen, sophomores, and juniors as well. Depending upon the particular instrument, all the instruments are scored on a 100-point sheet that they are asked certain criteria. It's sort of lined up like a rubric, and you try to score points on just how well you follow the intent of the composer, but also on some basic skills like scales and sight reading, things like that. For the elementary vocal, it's a recommendation. For the junior high vocal, there is an audition piece where they have to sing a very simple song like America and have to be able to match pitch, that sort of thing. For the senior high vocal auditions, they have to perform in quartets of soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and learn music that they'll actually be performing in March. Usually, if the student is preparing for college, the last piece that they do as a senior is somehow going to be involved with their audition at a college, and then that scholarship opportunity would be depending upon the particular institution they're trying to go to. But the ECMEA, the county organization, does have a scholarship that we do auditions for, and that's based upon their level of proficiency in their instrument as well as their participation with the all-county groups. And many of those students are so high performing on their instrument, they also are involved with scholarships that are offered by the Chopin Society, the Buffalo Philharmonic, Friends of the Philharmonic, and other cultural institutions in Erie County that offer that to high-performing musicians.
Let's move on to sports. Here's Tom Benarski.
It's that time. Sports time! The boys cross country team is heading to the New York State Championships along with Becky Crone and Sarah Gillis from the girls team. Good luck to all attending.
Alden's varsity cheerleading team finished their fall season on Sunday, November 6th. The girls put a lot of effort this past season and were able to place 5th at the Spirit Challenge at UB. The winter cheerleading season will begin with tryouts starting November 17th.
Congrats to the varsity girls volleyball team. They won their Section B championship against East Aurora, bringing the record to 20-2 this year. They advanced to the sub-regionals in Syracuse on Wednesday, November 9th. However, they were unable to advance from there. Great season, Lady Bulldogs.
Alden's winter sports teams are starting up in the next few weeks, including rifle. Here's a quick look at their tryouts this past week. We wish them the best of luck.
Well, howdy do. That's all for sports this week. Again, I'm Tom Bedhead Bednarski. Be sure to check out Bulldog Sports section on our website at wacs.aldenschools.org. Now back to Carl and Alexis with some information on No Shave November.
It's November, and for many, that means No Shave November.
Many have heard of No Shave November, but a lot of people don't realize its significance.
Let's have Alexis tell us more.
Speaking of November, with the election finally coming to a close, let's take a look at how the results will affect students nationally.
This election was no doubt a tight race between the two candidates, with the swing states playing a more important role than ever. But it's important to keep in mind that despite the deep rifts within the swing states and the country as a whole, division is a cancer that we cannot succumb to. If your candidate lost, don't despair or protest.
Speaking of November, with the election finally coming to a close, let's take a look at how the results will affect students nationally.
This election was no doubt a tight race between the two candidates, with the swing states playing a more important role than ever. But it's important to keep in mind that despite the deep rifts within the swing states and the country as a whole, division is a cancer that we cannot succumb to. If your candidate lost, don't despair or protest, and if your candidate won, don't gloat or celebrate. We must set our differences aside in order to think of the bigger picture and stay united for the good of the country. And on that note, happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Wacs News. We're thankful for you, our viewers, for making our job possible. Once again, I'm Carl Aldinger.
And I'm Alexis Marks. That's our broadcast. Tune in next week for more news from Carly and Alex.